Hello there everyone and welcome back. It's time to play with a little bit more chaos and I am gonna jump back into the Slaughter Fleet I think. For it's probably gonna be a lot more entertaining to at least watch compared to the Acheron fleet, which I am gonna go back to at some point. And of course, there's some excitement to be had with trying to learn where this fleet is strongest after all. Since the firepower seems really damn promising when we've been dealing with battle barges of all things, but a lot of that of course had to do with the armor-piercing ammo I had access to. So let's be honest, although it's hard to really gauge on how effective this could be, since I'm assuming the lances are just as potent as the Acherons or even all the other kind of lances as I hinted at, minus, well, with the benefit of the extra rate of fire. It's just always terrifying being that close to with something against something that probably has torpedoes or has a lot of ramming or burst damage potential. So, I would argue good use of the mobility is key. It's just a question of fine-tuning it and knowing if I should be the aggressor or trying to play a more passive and harassing type of route with this type of fleet. So let's find out. Also, I am going to attempt to experiment recording this in 60 frames. We'll see if my hard drive, if my PC can handle the demands or not. Alright, right off the bat with Imperial Navy, the matchup that we kind of look forward to seeing. Although it remains to be determined if New Parain is going to be using a battleship heavy type of fleet, which I could have problem with killing, or have an amazing time just running circles around them. It could be one, it could be the other. No way to know for certain until we dive into it. Otherwise, the one thing I'm kind of concerned about is just how fragile my frigates can be in any of these type of matchups, especially if I need detection for like gas clouds or asteroid belts, which conveniently there's going to be a very scarce amount of those for this matchup. Which also is probably a negative to me, let's be honest, since if I can't get in a close range engagement like I want, then that could hurt me a bit. Since I want to try and conceal myself a bit, to minimize any like lance fire from retributions or even, well, even just macro fire in general. But in a perfect world, in a perfect scenario, I should be able to effectively dodge macro cannons at a distance just from turning on and off my combustion gauge. So you would think that wouldn't be a problem, but I just gotta be focused solely on dodging projectiles if I want to realistically do that in a consistent manner. Otherwise, stasis bomb might be useful. Plasma bomb could synergize a little bit with the Slaaish's promise, and I might need the extra firepower. There's a lot of variables to really be that I'm uncertain of. So we'll just stick with this in case I need to disengage or even just reposition, since they can't turn while they're stuck in a stasis bomb. Which is a subtle thing that I might be able to take advantage of. Oops, sorry. I didn't even notice my opponent was queued. But right off the bat, it looks like we're dealing with a 6-cruiser type of fleet. And one of these ships is hanging behind for whatever reason, so probably the flagship. If I had to guess. So let's boost on forward and see what we can grab, and hell, I might even go so far as just grab this one objective while I have the means to. And we'll be able to effectively hunt down this frigate, whatever it is. They're already disengaging, so let's see if we can possibly intercept them with this frigate here. I'm willing to think that's the capitalist ship, the flagship right there, since it was the one that was kind of deliberately being controlled to hang back some. And our opportunity to kill the frigate's kind of gone right now. Since I think that's long gone at this point, but I want to try and reveal it and maybe see if we could do some damage. Nope, no frigate at all, interestingly. But we know where the frigate is, and that's just a standard Cobra. So this is a... Oops. There's our frigate. So can we kill this in a way that's effective? I would love to kill the shields to board this thing, but it's already too far away for said maneuver. So we're gonna have to try and kill it the normal way. And dang it, I think I'm getting pinged by something at an inconvenient time. I don't know which app that was, but... Nope. Well, this is going to be easy enough to potentially dodge if my ships turn around. So that's one torpedo salvo gone. And I even outrun these torpedoes. That's an interesting thing to note. Although, oh, they used up all the combustion gauge. That's kind of what I was wondering a bit. So unfortunately, I am going to suffer some hits here. But point defense can mitigate a lot of this. That's good for me. Perfect. More torpedoes are coming in, so hopefully my reload stance is going to fix this momentarily. Yep. They are not short burn torpedoes, which is important to note. And your combustion gauge back up, although... Let's try and get ourselves at least in disengage angle. Actually, I'm already in a good arc to dodge these. I say that and then I ram myself. So, I have no way to determine if these are... Hold that thought. But, let's see, you're boarded. We got more torpedoes coming in. And sadly, I am also being pushed off the border a little bit, which is going to suck for this one here. But that's half the torpedoes gone. And I kind of want to shoot down these torpedoes for this one ship that might get a bit of a beating. And these are probably the first melted torpedo salvos. So turn, flatten our arc a bit.
The enemy has seized a strategic
Well, I thought you're no Admiral Akbar, but okay. Now let's get in here and try prioritize damage best we can. And now we're suffering a slight bit of latency and a little bit of ramming damage, which is also going to hurt here. Now I don't know if Slaanesha's promise took effect there or not, but let's kill off these cruisers quickly, because this thing's on all sorts of fire and engine's gone. Don't know if I need to prioritize engines now. Let's try for a deck, since most of their engines are gone.
You have accumulated 25% of strategic points.
And thankfully, shield soaked a lot of that. So if we're able to at least trade an eye for an item, might be a good exchange. What kind of upgrades? Well, hold that thought. We don't have time to check.
The enemy has accumulated 25% of strategic points.
Now, need to try and prioritize. Well, there's our one ship at least. And that's the one I want to damage most. Let it come for me. It doesn't have the 83 armor, so this thing's going to take a lot more damage than it probably would like. Bad time to lose the engines, but just massacre this thing right now. And it sits there in a stasis bomb. I have means to just dodge them outright, but sadly not going to get the focus fire like I want on this Grand Cruiser. Alright, so I'm getting all sorts of distractions, it seems like, so let's see. Well, I want to prioritize deck-on ships. I do have a handful of them prioritized. What I want to continue boarding the one ship that has already been crippled, though, for the boarding damage. And if I can finish off this ship, that will hurt the morale tremendously. And I still got plenty of speed to go by. Let's just get an ideal close range for the armor piercing to really kick in. And hopefully I can shoot down most of these bombers. Yeah, almost all of them are gone right now. I'm just thankful that these are not short-burn torpedoes. They have armor-piercing rounds and everything, so they do have the possibility to use them. And hopefully that will cause severe morale damage on the rest of the fleet, especially with their decks gone. You are gone. I want to board. Well, I don't even need to board it right now because it's about to mutiny and the other one's about to join it. And I think that's a frigate there that kind of changed its stance earlier on there. So I think we got this. Maybe not the cleanest type of match there, at least on as far as controlling, I feel like, but dealing with those torpedoes felt pretty nice at the very least. Now, let's do this one more time before you try and ram my slaughter, ideally. And that should be a lot of combustion gauge you just burnt. And you're currently in brace for impact stance. Now let's grab some objectives. Although, I got a nice healthy lead. I'm not concerned just yet with that. And the boarding damage is going to seal deal here, although I should... Oh, it is an actual cruiser. Interesting. That's probably one of their last few torpedoes, so I wonder what the heck he were doing AWOL there. If it was a frigate, that wouldn't be a big deal. So you have almost no crew left. And I think we're fine with just engaging close range on this thing. Don't know if I were to be honest, I don't think I actually... Oh, hold on, thought. I'd rather ram myself than be rammed, though. As silly as this is starting to look right now. I take back what I was going to say. That's probably a terrible idea. Letting the AI do the auto engagement for me. That may have been part of what was happening there. And do I have engines currently prioritized? And it may still have torpedoes with that said. Actually, let's just try and grab the objective while we're out of here. And you are currently mutiny as a result of that deck destruction. Perfect. So I didn't even need to kill you off. You're already dealt with. It's not as exciting and satisfying as, say, like, if I was using an Imperial Navy fleet like that and just obliterating things instantly with good torpedo hits and ramming. So that's a lot of the reason why I feel like this fleet may not work the best. Because if those were short burn torpedoes easily, I would have a lot harder of a time. trying
You have
to
seized a strategic area.
outperform or at least be able to win in a straight up battle. But I did kind of have the freedom to get the angle I want. It's just, again, a question of how practical that is. Sure, I was able to get on their side, get behind them, and avoid their prow really damn well. But it's really being on their stern, their rear, that is kind of the best position for me. And even then, if they fly away from me, or yeah, maybe fly away from me, then I can't chase them and do damage at the same time. So there's a lot of little nuances that I'm openly thinking about on those type of engagements. Because otherwise, I'm forced maybe fighting broadside to broadside with something that has almost the same kind of firepower as me, on top of better armor prow and the potential to screw me over immediately if I have a lapse in concentration with due to their prow and torpedoes. That's honestly my biggest scare when face off against the Imperial Navy with this fleet, because it seems like they should be the superior fleet. With another factor, of course, being that since their weaponry fire at 12 seconds instead of 3 seconds here, ignoring the reload stance, they do have time to readjust their heading to fire torpedoes and ram me, while potentially not even sacrificing any of their macro fire in certain situations. Which is another facet of why having such quick weaponry can be a burden more often than not. But still a fun match. I thank you, New Parade, for that. Ooh, well, I looked at the name and saw it Skaven, and then realized that's no Skaven. That's a damn orc. A filthy, bloody orc. Although, if they were in the fantasy world, they would be at home, I imagine. Either way, this might be interesting, since orcs are probably the one faction that have the most ridiculous firepower potential. Oh god, that's a way to let me know that they actually know who I am. Oh well, this should be fun, but now I lost my train of thought as a result of that, damn it. Either way, orcs have potentially the best kind of close-range firepower, and the sad fact of the matter is, outside of lock-on, if I'm in range to shoot them, they're in range to hit me with mega cannons. Aww. That's contradictory to what you just said, though, damn it. I don't know what to believe in this world anymore. Although, I should try and grab some of the objectives because I have the ridiculous speed for it. And actually, I'm grouping wrong, too. So how the hell do I best approach this? Never mind the possibility, although it is a newer player, or at least a player I don't recognize at all. So there is a possibility they don't have tractor cannons, which is a big damn deal. And siren cannons, this only works on the flagship and I need lock-on stance, but this could be amazing as well. Hell, even there is a minor argument to be had for warp powered, since if I can recharge my shields while in the close range engagement, that's 125 morale on each ship. I'm gonna do this for fun's sake. I don't think that's practical though, but I see potential for it though. So hopefully we can make this interesting. So 2 frigates there. Handful there. I kind of want to destroy weapons, I'm not gonna lie. And there is a tractor cannon on this thing. So I think the best thing I could do to help mitigate that is spread the hell out of this fleet. So that way they're not colliding each other and causing me more problems. Oh yeah, and I don't have a mission dissipator, silly me. Because I swapped that out. It's a bit of a silly idea, isn't it? But again, that's 125 morale damage. If multiplied for each potential cruiser, or even the frigate that recharges their shield. That is potentially no joke if done right. It's going to be a ridiculous proposition to do, especially since it looks like we're dealing with the traditional 5 Mega Can type of fleet. It is looking like that. And I want to grab this point, because why the hell not? Oh. One of these is actually the dang ones with the fighter bays. And I do outrun these, but I don't actually want to hit myself is the idea.
As the War Master wills. Your orders.
So just keep shooting and mitigate as much as damage as possible for me. I just burnt all my combustion gauge, so we are committing to this. And it's only, thankfully, only a single battleship, so not the most terrifying thing I could go up against. And again, I want to try and spread out this fleet, dang it. It's not working.
We'll follow your command for now.
And they have 4 charges of that thing.
Show us our victims.
But hopefully, I can deal
We are unstoppable.
with this pretty damn well. Or at least the fighter squadron.
Adjusting rotation.
Actually, what I should do is just go after the frigates.
Reporting.
Oh, and I never paid attention to upgrades. I'm seeing the slow effect, aren't I?
Engines hot.
Nope, Death Skull and more DACA, so there's even more reason to not get in close. Oh, and that's not a track cannon, that's a mega cannon, or a nova cannon.
Setting course.
Shields are holding, so that's worth its weight in gold.
Moving to those.
And what do I need for this? I just need to be within 4,500 unit range, so that's probably not a good idea.
Show us
I
our
thought maybe this would be just a fun type of matchup, but now it's rapidly becoming serious.
Master wills. To the slaughter.
Although, with their 50 armor on the
We stand ready.
prow or the broadside, I should be okay here.
Ours.
How the hell do I engage this fleet, though?
Reporting.
Because do we have confirmation that that's a tracked can? No, that's a no. It's 2. Okay, it's a tracked can and a nova can. Okay.
We stand ready.
Oh, and I didn't lose the frigate. Okay, I was scared at first. I was terrified that that might be the case.
For the War Master.
So that frigate's pretty much dead. We're gonna have to forfeit points, it goes without saying. I did a terrible job apparently grabbing that one objective.
Show us our victims. Reporting.
Now let's see.
Coordinates.
Well, again, I would like to try and sprout this fleet, but we have speed, and I just want to at least neutralize these points.
We are unstoppable.
And see about punishing our opponent. At least force him to turn around.
Orders.
Because sadly my flagship's nowhere nearby to drop a stasis bomb for that kind of maneuver.
Retros activated. We'll follow your command for now.
And I got... Oh, and I'm not detected currently.
Reporting.
But they are coming towards me, so
Engines hot.
let's keep an eye on that possibility
Stand ready.
for later.
Show us our victims.
Actually, if they're gonna boost on me there like that, yeah, I have the speed to just
Our victims.
kind of just engage, or just disengage now.
Engines to full ahead. Your orders.
And I burnt all my combustion gauge, dang it.
For the ruinous power.
That's a bit of a problem. But so far only saps can really hit me.
Activated. Reporting.
And if I can damage this flagship, that might be good, but...
For the War Master. Prepare the
And shields are down on this, so that's gonna hurt a bit.
set engines to full ahead.
That is unfortunate. 2 shots are spent, though.
Stand ready.
Can I do some worthwhile damage on this flagship, though?
To the slaughter. Setting course.
Because engines are down again on that one ship, alas, so...
For the War Master.
So it's probably not long for this world.
Command. For now. Moving to those
But we do have a nice rear or fire arc. We just gotta hit something that's worthwhile now. And actually, again,
We are unstoppable.
let's get these moving.
Retros activated.
Slight bit of damage there. That's still surviving. That's taking a lot of damage right now.
Reporting. Execute.
And now we're just gonna high energy turn
The enemy has
not
seized a strategic
180
area.
degrees here.
We stand ready.
And try and abuse the hell of this thing, ideally.
Reloading ordnance.
Well, if you're just gonna boost like that, that works out nicely.
Master wheels.
The enemy has accumulated 25%.
It is a bit of like Eldari tactics, but we got promising damage on this flagship right now.
Engines hot.
Just gotta be very cautious of the mega cannons that are hitting us right now.
Setting course. Set engines to full ahead. Your orders.
And sadly, now I'm not in a window where I can focus fire the best.
We stand ready.
At least to kill the flagship like my dream would be.
We stand ready. Reporting.
So a mission dissipator definitely would have been the better choice.
Ours.
I overestimate my potential.
Orders.
Well, I underestimate how easy I might have it to just stay away from this fleet.
We are
And I have
unstoppable.
combustion gauge there, and I want to continue hitting the flagship ideally.
Orders. As the War Master wills.
Now, I don't have lock-on stance, which is a big deal.
Repair the damage at once. Setting course.
Don't do this to me now. I'm trying to control my fleet, dang it.
To the slaughter.
And the flagship's in a prime position to kill. So I think that's what I focus on.
For the ruinous
At least attempt to.
break them.
You have
I don't think
seized
it's
a
happening now,
strategic
though.
area.
Reporting. Setting course. Reporting.
Well, this works out perfectly.
Set engines.
And why does that work perfectly? The flagship's not moving.
Show us our victims. As the War Master wills. Retros activated.
So I would have loved the plasma bomb right here.
You have
But not
seized
meant to
a
be.
strategic area.
And this flagship's all sorts of getting screwed right now.
Up, Master.
I just want to kill it for the sake of morale, though. If I were to be honest.
War Master. Boarding attack successful, Master.
And it kills off a portion of his crew at least, so there's that.
Retros activated.
Actually, everything turned the hell around, because you're getting company a moment.
Ready. Reporting. We are unstoppable.
You have accumulated
This thing needs to die. Oh no, stop with the group order, please. Oh, you don't have mega cans. Alright.
Pains through their ship.
So I'm wondering what exactly his fleet is then.
Orders. Boarding attack successful, Master.
Now, just get the hell out. That thing is gone for good, but destroying it is the main prize. Since it's gonna hurt morale so much.
We stand ready.
So maybe I was running around as much as I did for no reason.
Moving to those coordinates.
Because the important thing to keep in mind, those torpedoes, with the bugs I realized, unless they got fixed, do not have any armor-piercing potential to them. Which heavily hurts their damage output, is what I'm trying to point out.
Command. For now.
Yeah.
Galaxy burn.
The enemy has accumulated 50%.
I don't think I need Slaanesha's promise, although I did lose a ship. Actually, no, I did. There. Yeah, I did actually lose a ship, but
Engines
they're about to break.
for the dark gods.
Although, most of them are just having mutinies that are causing their decks to get destroyed, despite it being my priority all this time.
For the War Master!
And I gotta remember, I do have the shield recharge potential,
Set engines to full
although engine's completely gone on that one ship.
engines hot! Set engines to full
Now I need my shields to actually be about to fall off for
We'll follow your
me to be able to cause this morale damage. Let's at least get value out of this dang upgrade,
sighted.
even if it was a stupid idea to begin with.
Activated.
Because all but this one here is at risk of breaking, or actually they all did an encouraging speech, so never mind that thought.
Reporting.
And they do still have heavy cannons on the prow or broadside, which is probably what's hurting me right now here.
Reloading ordnance.
Don't have my rallying cry, but
Orders.
we're about to lose the flagship.
Acherons activated.
The enemy has accumulated 75% of strategic points.
Engines damaged there.
Reporting.
You have seized
You are
a strategic
getting out of line, but yeah,
As the war
that's not really actually helping me. It was, I will admit, that was probably just a stupid idea there. Fun little theory crafting when really I should have just had a plasma bomb. And
stand ready.
the stasis bomb wasn't terrible, but I don't know if it actually helps me that much against battleships since they're already slow as hell to turn.
Your orders.
Because what I need right now is actually cause a mutiny on these things. And my flagship's currently gone for siren cans to not really take effect.
Engines hot.
So you're broken for good. We have all 5 objectives to our name. And we just gotta be ready for a potential ram from this cursed thing.
Unstoppable.
A silly match,
Setting
at least on my end. A fun match, but
for the War Master.
of course we were... What were most of these ships supposed to be? Since I only recall seeing one with a carrier bay, and that was maybe the flagship. Just lots of DACA. It's a DACA build.
Reporting.
Get as much ridiculous DACA as possible.
What a ruinous powers.
And it is slowly wearing me down. It's not like
Follow your command.
this is a one-side fight. Since
For the War
my ships could very easily not be able to rally if the priority at least was the deck in this case. And my engine's currently gone too, so
to the slaughter.
my ship's not able to evade this if he tries to boost. Oh, actually, I take that back.
We are unstoppable.
I have engines repaired now. I'm just not doing really good morale damage to really take advantage of these type of upgrades, though. Because we need fire assaults,
Moving to those
or something
coordinates.
really big, impactful, to get us those critical hits.
We stand ready.
Because I'm just waiting for these things to break so it can end, but it's not helping. It's not working, with that said. And because I don't have armor-piercing ammo, this is taking a lot longer than it probably needs to be as well.
Moving to those coordinates.
You have accumulated 75%
No, stop
of
encouraging.
strategic points.
I built my strategy around breaking your morale, and you're single-handedly countering that strategy with a single button. A single damn ability, dang you.
Master. Engines hot.
But with that said, let's see. That would basically bring the armor down to 50.
Master.
So that would be about a third. I'm doing a third of the damage, and then that would bring it to about 50%. So
Your orders.
if I had armor-piercing ammo, I would be technically
You are
doing
close to victory by
50, 60-ish% roughly, off the top of my head, extra damage. At that kind of range. So, based on my skills and upgrades, that dragged out a lot longer than it needed to be. And I failed terribly, to be honest, on spraying out my fleet. Since the track can by itself is not terrible, because even if it pulls me into range of their mega cans, the tracked can should in theory expire before the mega cans get to me, and if I'm on top of my game or fast enough, I just boost and dodge the cannon entirely. So the only real risk to, at least against the mega cannons, should be my own ships ramming against each other and complicating my pathing, especially any turning maneuvers I want to try. So not the best day for my performance, but I do want to play with this fleet more and understand if it has a place, because it's just a drastically different type of ship from all the other Chaos fleets.